So, as I'm tapping in today for this reading for the collective, the message I heard was this reading is for love. So, we're going to dive right in. So, if this is the first time I've come across your page, welcome. My name is Carey, and today we're going to be tapping into what do we need to know about love. And part of the whole thing about love is love also, is what I'm hearing from my guides, really starts from within. It's not just something that we wait for. It is something that we cultivate within ourselves. And I think that this is going to be important for us to know. So I'm just going to feel into this. Again, I'm working with my guides. I'm working with what we need to know for this collective. And as always, I would love it if you could comment below if this resonates for you and makes sense. So one of the things I'm hearing from my guides is that oftentimes we want to escape some of the challenges that go on when it comes to opening up to love, when it comes to creating love within ourselves. Sometimes we just want it to happen. And one of the 10 of Cups on the bottom of the deck as I'm cutting the deck. Sometimes we just want the end result. That's what I'm hearing. We just want it to work out, okay? 9 of Pentacles. We want to feel a sense of fulfillment, accomplishment. We want to feel a sense of all these things we've built and that something arrives. So ultimately, the messaging internally for some of you is, in fact, I just want it to arrive. And I want it to be ready, and I want it to be already baked, and I don't want to have to do any extra work. So now, in some instances, this is what I'm hearing, that can happen. And you reach a point in your life where you do, in fact, manifest that partnership, someone who feels familiar to you. It feels like there's a deep connection there. It feels easy. You understand each other. You have that kismet, you have that chemistry. And for some of you, that is the way it will occur. But I want you to backtrack a little, and I want you to think about how this has come to be. Because for some of you, you have done the internal work. You have cleared out your shadows. You have worked on your mindset. You've worked on releasing and reprogramming and replacing the old patterns you might have once had, and you've done so with a very clear eye, King of Swords. So King of Swords really comes to us when, we've come through a lot of different stages, especially with the swords, because that's mindset. That's the words we say to ourselves. That's the words we say about the world. That's the words we say about relationships. And so as we're ready for this new love, this new experience, we feel the chemistry. Some of you are feeling this way of preparation, but it's not because you just arrived there. I want you to really recognize this if this is you. You did the work. You do want it to just unfold. You do want it to just happen naturally. You do want to have that, the long-term relationship that's lasting, where you're building something together, where you have done something individually and as a solo person, and then they've also done the work too. So it shows that, again, it's coming to you, but this didn't just arrive. This did not just arrive. You took the time and walked away from things that were not working for some of you in this collective. You've done work on ancestral level is what I'm hearing. You've cleared out a lot of the ways that certain, archetypes were in your family history. You have released the burden of wow. Okay. So we have the Judgment card coming forward. Let's be aware of that. And then we have the 10 of Wands. So when the Judgment card comes forth, we really are willing to make a choice to go in a direction that feels as though we are walking away from something that is no longer serving us, that doesn't feel like our version of love. I'm hearing you are ready. You have prepared. This is a long awaited journey. Some of you have been alone for quite some time. For a while is what I'm hearing. And so you're about to step onto this, but it was not because you've done the hard work. You've made the choices at every turn, what it is you need to do in order to live in that right alignment. You didn't rush ahead. You have prepared. You release the burdens. But I am also seeing the history for you. I'm seeing where you've climbed from. So it feels like some of you have been alone for over 5 years, or not in a serious relationship for 5 years. But now you are separating from that past. You've incubated for long enough, is what I'm hearing, and you're ready to take that step. You're ready to take that step. Wow. I can't wait to see what happens. Okay. Let's see what this looks like coming in. What is it going to feel like when it's coming in? I'm really hearing trust yourself. Trust yourself. The long awaited journey is finally coming. Let me show you what we have here. This is an interesting thing. So we have the 10 of Swords in reverse. The 10 of Swords is the end of a cycle, especially where there was a lot of, mistrust. There were people that didn't have your best interest at heart, where there was a lot of strain and there wasn't clear communication, and there were diverted attempts, to almost to avoid intimacy for some of your past partners. And there's a way that you hid yourself, Queen of Wands reversed, because of this criticism. So it feels like, again, because you've taken so much time to really nestle in and figure out what makes me happy. Who am I? I need to be happy with myself. That's really what I'm hearing. So you're about to you're about to put it into a new timeline. That's what I'm just hearing. I'm hearing new timeline. I'm hearing you've waited. Some of you thought maybe it was going to happen earlier in the summer, but I'm hearing be patient, because what wasn't right, like maybe there could have been something close, or you felt something happening, but it didn't quite come into fruition like you had thought. But that just means that the right thing is coming. The right thing is coming. So here's what we're getting here about the earlier part of the summer, right? Because as I'm here, I'm doing this beginning of September. Again, this can be a timeless reading for you at any time. It's just, if this resonates for you in this time frame, great. Or if a few months back. Okay, so we have the 2 of Swords, which is in itself a card of waiting. It's a card of ambivalence. It's a card of hesitation. It's a card of waiting before you jump into something. Okay, but you also release the chaos, 5 of Wands reverse, because 5 of Wands is an energy of not knowing what direction to go in. It is energy moving in a lot of different directions. It is sometimes known as conflict, about mixed interests that aren't on the same page, especially passion. This could be even direction of even more of a physical part of the relationship, of someone, like you felt like something was coming, you sensed something was coming, but it didn't come into break down and happen at the timeline you thought. So you had to let go. I feel like some of you took a dip and started doubting that it would happen, and that you mistrusted yourself. Oh, and the journey, what made you come to a standstill, especially around June, as I'm hearing for some of you, right? So in the interest of self-love, you gained more patience. And here we are right here. The Fool card is coming out, which is saying it's time. It's time. Love is on the horizon. 3 of Wands and the Page of Swords. Okay, so Page of Swords in this instance really feels to me like, you possibly meeting this person or joining with this person in a way that where you have a shared interest, that it could be something even slightly academic, or something where you you have a shared interest in something that you study or find fascinating is what I'm getting, which I think is super exciting. And also this could be even someone that you meet even during a period of traveling, because Three of Wands is really about travel, often even international travel. So it could be a shared interest in traveling or something you're both studying. I also get a sense here, someone involved in this connection is interested in history. Could be you, it could be the person. I like it. I like this. I like where this is going. Page of Wands reversed, Three of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so we have a little bit of a shutdown of energy in this situation. Page of Wands is really typically this energy of like, we're about to get something started. We are ready to learn and grow and learn from others, and we are passionate, but also maybe we are a little bit hesitant about starting something. Next to the Three of Pentacles, which is typically when it's in the upright, has to do with building something with others that's concrete, that's solid, that's stable. For me, this feels like hesitation here. This feels as though we are worried about making a bit of a mistake. Although I don't feel as though you're really getting caught up in this, or they are getting caught up in this. There's something where you're worried about it, but I do get a sense that patience is just required. It does not feel like a long time. It actually feels like the big thing here is just shifting your energy into a place of more relaxation, so you don't, tear the building down before the structure's finished. That is interesting. That is interesting. Okay, let's see what else. I'm also going to tune into my guides and see what they have to say. King of Cups and the Tower. Bam. I'm hearing October. So that could be significance. We could also have someone who is a later, possibly a Libra or a Libra or a Scorpio energy, but also we're next to the Tower, right? The Tower is a card of leveling. It is a card of endings and then new beginnings. It is like as though this person, King of Cups, might kind of throw you off because of their emotional awareness, their presence. When we change the way our inner dynamic about what we want in a partner and what kind of relationship we want to be in, and we get to a point where we're opening up to someone who's more emotionally available, someone who's healthier and who is trustworthy and kind and accessible on a deeper level emotionally, that can stir some things up in us. We might think that's what we want, but at the same time, it can be disruptive as far as because we're not used to it. So be aware of how you might feel unleveled by this person or this energy. And you've got to learn to sort of stand on your own 2 feet and be grounded and realize you deserve this and get comfortable with someone giving you that much attention. I am hearing that. So trust the process. Just take it at the pace that you can handle it, is what I'm hearing. Okay, Five of Pentacles reversed, and then the Page of Swords reversed. This is actually, for me, a good energy. So the the Five of Pentacles in reverse really means we're letting go of this desolate, being alone, feelings of things not working out, feelings of just trying to make things work and them not happening, follow through, that things just kind of disintegrate. And though we have the Page of Swords, which is typically, a new thought, a new idea, communication, things like that. So it does feel a little bit to me like possibly you wanted to charge forward and thinking things were going to happen a certain way. And then because of this energy of like disruption and some things that have come up, part of it, you just have to trust the unfoldment, how the process will work. I just get a sense that it's going to be more of a surprise and unexpected, but yet what you expected. And I just keep hearing that thing about trust yourself, trust yourself. Okay, my guides are saying pull 3 more tarot, and then we're going to move on to the oracle to see what these final messages are. Let me know in the comments if this is resonating. Also, I would love it if you could put a comment below. Let me know if this makes sense. And then be sure to follow and come back and see me. I do lives every week, and we get into it. We have a wonderful community. We do live readings and spiritual development. So I'd love to see you there. That would mean so much to me. Okay, let's see what the final 3 cards are about this connection. So good. So these are all, I would say, the minor arcana, which means that this is just a matter of time. This is not like a big life lesson. You've already done a lot of that work. But look at what we have here, the 7 of Pentacles. This is requiring patience because you are letting go of the things that don't work, that aren't what you want in this dynamic of this relationship. You really have gotten to a point where I'm hearing still waters run deep. The things that are authentic and meaningful and lasting don't happen overnight. Sometimes they can happen once you get going. They can all of a sudden they arrive, but you did work on yourself to prepare for this. Know that if it's going a bit slower right now, it's only because you're releasing what isn't working. So be willing to let things drop away and let the timing unfold. Ace of Swords, this is a new idea, a new direction. This is clarity. This is knowing exactly what you want. Pen to paper, you've written this out. This is definitely something that is on the horizon for you, on the horizon. And then the final card, which I'm really stoked about for the tarot, is the 5 of Cups reversed. And that means we have released grief. We have released sadness. We have released the energy which makes us feel tethered to a feeling of not having things work out for us. No more for that. We've moved on. All right, let's get into the oracle and just see for the final messages here about love, self-love. What do we need to know? So bottom of the deck right away, I just want to say a couple things. This is a karmic card, never-ending story, next to the breathe card. I just want to let you know you are releasing this past life karma when it comes to having things not work out for you, having things fall apart at the last minute. You are releasing that. You need to trust the process, trust yourself. You are healing this karmic pattern. And it is about being present. The breathing here is such a strong card because it really indicates that, it is about learning to center yourself and be in the moment. That's not always easy to do. I have a tough time, and my guides remind me, to like get out of my head, listen, clean things out from that perspective, look at things in a new way in the moment. All right, then we have message in a bottle and the oh, these almost mirror each other. We have Treasure Island and message in a bottle in reverse. Okay, so let's start with Treasure Island. Treasure Island really is when you're carrying your reality with you everywhere you go. So this might be a notion for you to be flexible about the possibility of maybe you have to move, maybe you have to start something different. Maybe you have to jumpstart something you've done before and weren't expecting to have to start over or do something else. This is just about realizing your heart, your truth, your manifestations go with you. They are not connected to a person, a place, or a thing. They're connected to inside of you. Okay. And then we do have the message in the bottle in reverse. Okay. For me, this feels like a little bit of tension. If it was in the upright, this would be something unexpected happening and you being in sync with that, letting things unfold. And because it's in the reverse, it means, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? There is this sense of there's a little bit of desperation of not knowing how the timing is going to work and wanting to trust that process. Okay, final card. Here we go. What do you have for us, Spirit? All right, so let me know in the comments again if you enjoyed this reading. I would love to see you again. Again, I release new readings twice a week. I do live stream every Friday. That's possibly going to be more. If you're interested in getting a reading, all the information is linked below. Love to see you there. The perfect harmony. This card, and also it's just such a beautiful card. This has to do with divine orchestration. This has to do with the fact, in the spirit world, things really do exist first in sound. And so when something's about to start manifesting, that is harmonious, that's something you really desire, it's first found in the sphere of sound. So I want you to just open your ears, open your heart, and pay attention to what does it sound like or feel like to be in that relationship. What is that? What's the song that's playing that's connected to your desired relationship? All right, everybody. I am loving this reading. Let me know in the comments how you enjoyed it. I can't wait to see you on the next one. Take good care.